All right, so we'll set our weights off to the side a little bit. We're going to do a bit of a core, more power core. We're going to take those feet, hips distance apart. Big inhale. Let's circle those arms all the way up. Deep breath. Lift those ribs. We'll take our hands on our hips. Our hips are going back. We're going to take a slow tuck round and roll up. Just starting to work through that spine. And then we'll roll the shoulders at the top. We'll do it one more. Just loosen everything up. Start to wake up the body. Nicely done. Let's take the right knee into the chest. Alternating knee hugs. We'll go from right to left. We'll keep our toe flexed, our posture tall, and we'll pull in through that core, in through that low navel to help lift those knees in side to side. Continuing to warm up the body, we're going to add a twist or rotation through the waist, turning towards the knee that we're lifting. And continuing to twist and crunch, we're going to start to take the legs wider. So just a wider step, pulling into the side of the rib cage, the side of the waist. But we'll give it 5 more seconds. 5. Last one, finishing up here. We'll release. We're going to take the legs wide and the toes slightly turned out. Okay, just slightly. We'll take both arms up. Again, lifting ribs. Big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to bend both knees, squat down, elbows come down towards those thighs, belly tight. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come down wide and low. Good, getting into those inner thighs and hamstrings. A little bit of shoulder. Five, 4, 3, last one. Good, we'll release the arms, roll out the shoulders, turn toes in, then heels, then toes, all the way through. We're going to pick up those heavier dumbbells, so your heavier set. Squat to do that to protect the back. All right, shaking out those shoulders. We're going to take a lunge, okay, and a bicep curl. So we're going to step forward with that right foot. At the same time, we're finding ourselves a curl, and we press off and bring it back together. All right, let's go. Working out the same leg, repeating. Time for one more of this leg. We're going to switch to the other leg. Same arm movement, just switching legs. Good, staying braced through the core, all the way through the movement. About time for 2 more. Next one, we'll take last one. We'll release. We'll roll out those shoulders. We're going to bring our weights together and tuck our elbows in, just to add that weight without doing any actual arm movements. Feet move into hips distance, a little softness in the hips. Looking for a wide sumo squat. We're going to step out with the right leg, step wide, drop those hips down, press into the heels, squeeze the buttock and inner thighs together. Let's start with that right side. Step out, drop down. Good, continue right. Time for 2 more. Last one this side. Let's switch sides. Going right into the other leg. Left leg steps wide. We drop down, press into the heels, squeeze the buns. We've got time for about one more real good one. Drop it low. Good. Release those arms by our side. Feet still standing, hips distance, side of our waist. We're going to allow that right arm, that right weight to pull us over to the right, keeping the navel in. Exhale, bring back to center. Alternate sides. Good. Exhale on your way up. Inhale as you let the weight pull you down. Looking for control and stability throughout the spine and core as we move laterally. We shouldn't feel any tension in the back. If we do, bend those knees and put the hips back just a little bit more. Good. Core focus. Keep pulling through the navel on that exhale on the way up. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We'll release those shoulders. Good. Back to the top. So we're going to take a hammer curl, but this time we're going to do a reverse lunge. So feet hips distance. Let's clear the space behind you. Right leg is going to take the start. Hammer curl. Right leg steps back into that lunge. We press off, come back to center. Continue with the right leg. Good. Careful not to swing the arms. We're controlled. You can always do tap backs instead of a full lunge if those knees are tired. One more this side. We're just going to switch legs then. Switching legs. Good. Challenging those muscles. Keeping the front knee over the ankle. 5, 4, 3, 2. Next one, last one, best one here. Good. We'll release. We'll shrug out those arms. Feet come into hips distance again. We're going to bring those weights together. Up at the chest, elbows tuck in. Toes may be a little turned out. We're loosen our hips. Okay, loosen our hips. We're going to step out into that wide sumo squat, right leg. So we'll step out right, dip it down, bring it in. Alternate left. Good. Continue to alternate. Good. Focusing on using the glutes by pushing into those heels, driving those feet into the floor. One more each side we have time for. Last one. Good. We'll release those arms. Let them hang. Taking our feet hips distance apart. Working on that waist. Right side lowers. Exhale, draw the belly in, bring it up, switch. We're going to take one more each side. Nicely done. All right, shoulder blades back and down. Last set through. We're going to work on those hammer curls again. This time we're going to alternate. Okay, we're going to alternate legs, and we're going to alternate it from a reverse lunge. Okay, a reverse lunge. So let's take right leg back into a reverse lunge, hammer curl. Left leg back into a reverse. Good, right then left, continue. Good, controlled curls. We have one more each side, each leg. Good, we'll release. We'll roll out those shoulders. All right, going into those wide squats again. This time we're going to take one weight out in front of us and just keep one. Okay, we're just going to keep one. We're going to place hands on either end. And we're going to put ourselves out in the wide squat stance. Toes slightly turned out, belly pulled in. We're going to lower down, come halfway up, back down. Squeeze the inner thighs and buttocks to straighten, come all the way up. Okay, let's begin. Down, halfway up, down, squeeze to the top. About 10 seconds left. Time for two more. Last one, so let's hold this one down and take little pulses, thinking about the inside of those thighs, pulling in towards our navel, navel pulling towards the spine. Little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dip it down, then come all the way up. Release those arms. Bring those legs back together. Roll out the shoulders. Fantastic. All right, let's take that weight, put it out in front of you for a quick little cardio burst. We'll bring that heart rate up to burn some additional calories. Today we're going to start with the jump rope. So we'll take a softness in the hips. I draw in through the belly. Arms will release at our side. Maybe just lifting heels. Maybe full foot hop. Kind of shaking out the wrists. Getting some calf. A nice soft landing on those knees. Let's reverse the direction of our wrists. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick it all out. All right, drink if you want it. And then we're going to return to those heavier weights with a deadlift row and tricep combo. Okay, so if you're adjusting your weight, please feel free to adjust the deadlift row and a tricep. Okay? I'll turn sideways just so that you can see. Weights will come out in front of the thighs. Chest will open, navel will draw in. Feet are hips distance, and we're soft in the knees, not locked. Belly tight. It's a hip hinge for that deadlift. We pause with the long, straight spine and tight core. Turn the palms in to face each other. Elbows pull straight back without hunching the shoulders. Press behind for the tricep. Bend the elbows, bring it in. Slowly control the arms down. Then push into the heels, squeeze the buns to finish off that deadlift. Okay? Let's go through one more time slow. Hip hinge, deadlift. Pause. Palms face each other, belly tight, row. Tricep press back. Bring those hands in, then down, into the heels, belly tight, squeeze the buns top. All right, well, let's go. 30 seconds, working at our own pace. Good, looking for quality, not quantity here. Little pause back there when we extend through the arm for those triceps. So we have time for one more, finishing up. Good, we'll release. We'll roll out those shoulders. Feet will remain hips distance apart, okay? Hips distance apart. We're gonna bend the elbows and kind of just let those weights hover above the shoulders. So not resting on, but hovering. Our shoulder blades are locked back and down. We're gonna do a squat and then a press, okay? Squat and then a press. When we press, we're gonna rotate through the wrists. That's an option for you. You can keep them straight if you prefer. So taking our squat, hips are back, pressing to the top, press, pressing out in front, not behind the head. Rotate the wrists, control them down, squat, belly tight, press. That's it. Good. Lots of arm, lots of quad and glute. Try to get that squat down at least as far as a chair. Five, four, three, two, finishing up. Good, we'll find our release. We're gonna put the weights right out in front of us. We're gonna take our feet wide. We're gonna take hands like a stick up, okay, like a stick up. So our shoulder blades are drawn tight together, toes a little wide, belly in. We're gonna sink down into a wide squat and we're gonna work those obliques again. So that lateral movement, bringing that right elbow towards the thigh, center, switch. Good. The leg work, just holding that stability. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it in center, straighten the arms, roll the shoulders, toes and heels and toes and heels, legs come back to center. We squat, we pick up those weights. All right, continuing to work this upper body. Deadlift, row, tricep, second round. Here we go, weights out in front, shoulder blades back and down, belly tight, hip hinge, palms turn towards each other, row, tricep press back, control it in and down, push through the heels, squeeze the buttocks. Yes. You keep that core tight all the way through. Good, one more to go. We can finish this. Good, standing tall, rolling out those shoulders. All right, we're gonna do our squat and our press. Feet come in hips distance. Let's take the weight to the shoulders. And now if this is too much weight, you can just get rid of one and just use one weight with the hands on either end, okay? One weight with The hands on either end. All right, let's go for the squat. Hips back. Push through the heels, squeeze the buns and thighs. Rotate the wrists. Press out in front of you while the control tummy, no arch. Control it as you bring those arms down and back into your squat. Exhale, push. Inhale down. Almost there. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control release. Let's get rid of one of those weights. We'll place one either hand on the end, and we're going to go into that wide squat. We'll take that belly in tight, sink it down. Good. This time we're rotating. So we're turning from our waist towards one direction of the room, inhaling center, exhaling out the other side. Knees, legs, motionless. Good, getting as much rotation as we can. Five, 4, 3, 2, last one. We'll straighten up, release the arms, heel toe, or walk those feet in, rolling out those shoulders. All right, putting this weight down in front of us. We're gonna take another little jump rope. Soften the knees, going for 30 seconds, loosening up those wrists. Well, let's go. Just heel lifts, or maybe the full body is just barely coming off the floor. Let's rotate our direction of our wrist roll. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Shake it out. Drink if you need to. Drink if you need to. All right. Last time through with these weights. Squatting, picking them up. Shoulders roll, back and down. And again, if they're too much, you can trade it out for a lighter weight or just skip the weights altogether and go through the motion. Let's set it up for our deadlift, row, and tricep. Okay? Deadlift, row, tricep push back. Bring it in control, lower slowly, into the heels, lock the belly, stand tall. Good, halfway. Good, we'll take one more good one. All the way to the top, shoulders roll. We're gonna squat and press. Again, those arms are getting tired, just switch out to one. You can hold end on end, or you can hold 2 weights in your hands. Feet go hips distance, okay? Coming into the squat, we're paying attention that those knees don't go past the feet. They can go past the ankles, but not the feet. So let's go ahead, come into that squat, push into the heels, press up and overhead. Control on the way down, exhale, control on the way up. We've got time for 2 more. Last one, good one, best one. Perfect. We'll release in center. We'll roll out those shoulders. Let's take the weight out in front of us and get rid of it and step those feet into a wide squat. All right, we're going to take those arms wide, like our goal posts. Before we do just the lateral movement, we can repeat that, or we can opt with a leg lift. So sitting into the squat, starting out on that right side, a leg lift with that lateral crunch, okay? Alternating, let's go. If you prefer, you can just do the lateral movement without the leg lift. Good, keep that tummy tight. Use that core to lift that leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the arms. Roll those shoulders. Last time for our jump rope. We'll set it up. Keep the knees soft. Wrists at the side. Let's do it. Got a nice, light, easy impact that helps to compact our bone. Great for osteoporosis. Let's go. Opposite wrist direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake everything out. If you haven't already, let's lay out your mat and maybe get a drink, okay? We're going to prepare to come down to our mat. Weights should be close by. All right, weights are close by. We're going to stand at the end of our mat, facing the mat. We're going to take a big circle like we did when we started. It's a big circle all the way up. Hands on those hips. Our hips will go back, and we'll take that slow tuck, round, and roll just to stretch through the spine after all that standing work. We'll roll the shoulders at the top. Good. Let's hip hinge, and we're going to come out to a plank, okay? Hip hinge, coming out to a plank. Get a little bit of a hamstring stretch on the way down. All right, options here. We can be on our knees, and you could also be using a wall. What is not optional is pulling up and into that belly to support that spine, okay, to support that spine. All right, from a straight arm plank, we're going to come down onto our elbows and then push back up into plank. We're only going to do it 5 times, okay, 5 times. So you'll come in on your elbow, on your other elbow, still in a plank. Press back up into the palm, flex the belly, other palm. There's 1. Try and switch those arms. Good, last one. From our plank, we're going to come into a child's pose. Extend the arms, reach the hips way back, take a couple of deep breaths. From here, we're going to do a child's pose to a kneeling plank, a mini push-up, and then back into our child's pose. So arms extended wide, spread fingers, inhale, shift forward, kneeling plank. Belly locks, little push-up, elbows bend wide, squeeze those chest muscles. Bring it back into that child's pose, big stretch. Inhale, shift forward, lock it up, little push-up. Back into child's pose. Good, 8 more. The goal, that long spine, leading with the chest as we lower. Working those pec muscles on that push-up. Core all the way through. Good, 3 more. Last one here. We'll extend into that child's pose. Roll out the wrists, make some fists, kind of stretch out the fingers, deep breath. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the left side of the room so we can push out through our lats, our right rib cage. And then we'll switch over to the other side, another little stretch. We'll release into center, extended child's pose. On the inhale, we're going to shift forward into kneeling plank. On the exhale, we're going to lower all the way down so that our chest touches the mat before the belly. So draw those shoulder blades back and down. Let's keep the elbows tucked in this time, like a yoga chaturanga. Elbows are brushing the ribs as we pull that chest forward and control the downward momentum with the arm, particularly that tricep. We come all the way down to the floor. We're extending our arms out in front of us long for a swimmer, and we're extending our legs back behind us. Up and in through the pelvic floor, we're anchoring our hips, and on the inhale, right arm, left leg are lifting, but they're more interested in extending. So you're reaching the fingers out in front of you, reaching the toes behind you without those hips lifting off the mat. Go slowly lower, and then you'll switch. Left arm, right leg, extend and reach, then lower. Inhale, reach, exhale, lower. Alternating side to side. You can work at your own pace here. Challenging. Our low back muscles, our extensors. Nice long neck. Kind of gazing out in the floor in front of you. Five seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll release. We're going to bring the hands on either side of our chest. Pull the elbows in. Reach those elbows towards the feet to lengthen our neck. Lock the belly. Push up into a kneeling plank, and then exhale back into child's pose for a stretch. Try and get the belly and chest off the floor at the same time. Nicely done. Again, hands walk towards the left side of the room, pushing out through the right rib cage. And then over to the other side. Good. We'll take it back to center. We'll take a tuck round and roll ourselves up into all fours. Okay, so we're going to come into all fours. Our knees are under our hips, and our hands are underneath our shoulders. Shoulder blades retracted and the navel drawn in. We're going to flex our right foot. Okay, flex our right foot. Donkey, heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, pull the knee under the body. Donkey, heel to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck and round. Option, right? Option. Bringing that left arm. Extending. Exhale, pulling in. Donkey. Pull it in. Good. Still going. We've got about 15 seconds left. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll bring it back into a round cat back. A little bit of a cow. We arch, pull the chest forward. Draw the navel in neutral. Flexing our left foot. Starting with just the donkey. Keeping the tummy tight. Pull into the belly, knee under. And then option. Add that right arm. Five seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to round that back into a cat. Open it up into a cow. Bring it back to neutral. We're going to turn ourselves over so we're seated. We'll extend to those legs and lift our chest really tall, okay, really tall. Option here is adding on some resistance or a weight, okay? So if you want to add on a weight, please do. If we're having back challenges or any kind of soreness today, or you're just feeling fatigued, maybe skip the weight for today and just go through the movement. That'll still give you plenty of challenge. So we're tight and lifted. We don't want to be rounded and slouched, tight and lifted. Arms are tucked in whether there's a weight or not. If you have no weight, you can cross your arms over your shoulders. Pulling the shoulder blades down, lengthening through that neck and spine. We're looking for the outside rib cage, twisting to the right, back and center. So side of our waist. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you twist. That's it. Each time coming through the center, we straighten up, make sure we're lifting the chest. If you'd like to make it more challenging, you can lift those heels up off the floor. Good, 5, 4, 3. Let's finish up, last one. Good, we'll bring it into center. Place the weight down temporarily. Reach our arms towards our toes to stretch out through the spine. Good, we're gonna leave heels on the mat. Roll the shoulders back. And take the hands out front, almost like you're on a rowing machine, okay? Shoulder blades back and down, okay? We're gonna hip hinge forward, reaching the chest forward towards the toes, just like we're rowing. We're gonna hip hinge back. Pause when you feel that belly pull in. Bring the arms back towards your rib cage, and then return. So just a row, no rowing machine, but just a row. You should get a little quake in the abdominals back here on that back part where you've got a little bit of a hip hinge. You have that core supporting you. Inhale forward. Exhale, hold back, pause. And if you wanted to make it more challenging, you could keep those feet elevated off the floor. Five, 4, 3, 2. We'll take one more and let's hold that back there. Hold that back on the row. Lift the chest, draw the navel in, holding 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hip hinge forward. Reach for those toes. Grab onto them. A nice big stretch. If you can, maybe straightening out the legs. It'll stretch out those hamstrings a little bit more. Full inhale, full exhale. And let's release. All right, we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Let's take a C curve on the way down. So a nice straight leg. We'll pull into the belly to create that C curve through the spine as we reach fingers towards the toes. Chin is slightly tucked. On the inhale, we start to come down one vertebra at a time, and we're scooping through the navel to control that descent as slow as we can without that belly pooching. Start to exhale, blow out, and flex those feet as it gets challenging. Continuing slowly all the way down, arms finally lifting over the head for a full body stretch once you get down there. On the exhale, let's bring that right knee into the chest. We're giving that a big hug. Good, we're going to release the right knee, and then on the next exhale, we're going to bring that left knee in. Give it a big hug. Good, let's bring the right knee in to join the left. So we have both knees into the chest. Low back is feeling pretty good as it presses into our mat. We're going to take our arms off by our hips, off by our side, or you can tuck them just underneath the hips for a little bit more stability, okay? We're going to extend legs up, draw that tail down, Pull the belly up and in. Lower the legs to about a 45, just so you start to feel that tension in the abdominals where they want to pooch, but you don't let them, okay? We're going to take some big scissors, okay, big scissors. So right leg is up, left leg lowers. Point the toe, flex the foot, bring it up, alternating. Okay, so alternating scissor legs without creating a big arch in that back on the floor. Again, you can tuck those hands underneath the hips. We can also make the scissor movement smaller. So if you're feeling any tension in the back, don't drop the leg quite as far. Keep that scissor a little smaller. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, finish up. Bring both knees into the chest, give them a quick hug. Wonderful. Let's release. Both feet are on the mat. Heels are pointing towards your buttock. Little space between those thighs, okay? We're going to work our way into a bridge, and we're also going to take a fly, okay? So if you've got those weights handy, that's great. If not, just go through the motion without weights. Elbows go out to the side. They're slightly bent. The weights are not touching the floor. They're hovering above it. Pull into the navel. Push in through the feet. Let's scoop those hips up into a bridge. We're going to hold that bridge position as we take these flies. On an exhale, squeezing chest muscles, bringing weights together over the face. On the inhale, nice and slow. 3 counts down. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, squeeze the chest, bring them together. 3 counts down. Inhaling. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, squeeze. Inhaling. 3, 2, 1. Good. Just like that. Holding tight up in that bridge. One more time through. Good. We'll slowly lower the hips, one vertebra at a time. Let's bring feet up off the mat. Knees are bent. We're going to turn palms to face away and separate the arms so that they're shoulder width apart. Okay, so your weights are just kind of hovering on either side of your knees. Okay, knees are at a 90 like you're sitting in a chair. Weights are hovering on either side of your knees. Your navel is drawn in tight. On an exhale, you're going to pull that belly button down so hard to the floor that those arms, head, and shoulders lift 2 inches off the floor, and then slowly lower back down. Exhale, draw that navel down to the floor. Push, reach. Inhale, come back. Option, leaving the arms straight, or as they come back, elbows come back wide into a chest press. Exhaling, pressing chest press. Inhaling, controlling back. That's an option, or you can just leave those arms straight. Time for 2 more. Next one will be last one. We'll release, we'll get rid of one of those weights. We're going to keep one hand on either end of the weight. Handle goes over the forehead, so it's hovering over the forehead. Knees and ankles are still together like we're sitting in a chair, okay, like we're sitting in a chair. On the inhale, okay, we're going to extend out to the legs to a 45. Exhale, pull them in. Inhale, extend 45. Exhale, pull it in. Option, arms extend over the head. Exhale, pull the handle back over the forehead. So you can either have just legs, or you can take legs with the push of the arms, straight up over the head. Okay? Good, controlling those abdominals, keeping them tight the whole time. Time for 2 more. This one will be last one. Good. We're going to get rid of the weights. We're going to put down weight. We're done with them completely. You're done with them completely. We're going to take arms out to the side. Arms out to the side. Knees and ankles still together. We're going to work through the side of the waist. Gentle twist. Slow and controlled through the obliques. So inhaling, we'll let the legs drift towards one side of the room. They go about halfway. We pause. Exhale, draw that navel in. Side of the waist helps you come back to center. Reset, and then the other side. Option. If you're tired, okay, or if you have any back challenges, instead of the legs being elevated in a chair position, have those feet on the floor. You're still able to rotate those knees, drop them from side to side and engage the outside of the waist. Just a little bit less tension on the back if those feet are touching the floor. The big exhale as you pull those legs up. Maybe starting to allow them to lower just a little bit further. Good. Next time down, you're going to let them come all the way down to the floor so the legs stack on one another, and you're going to just rest into a nice big twist. We'll turn our palms face up, allow those shoulders to sink into the floor, and turn our head the opposite direction of the knees. Big inhale, filling up the belly, allowing it to expand. Exhaling, emptying the belly all the way of all the air before taking the next breath. One more. Turning palms down, bringing head into neutral. Draw those knees up into the chest so you can roll back onto your back. Give the knees a nice big hug. We'll release and we'll take the relaxing twist on the other side. Knees come all the way down, they stack. We turn our palms face up, turn our head in the opposite direction. Big inhale, big exhale. One more. Head comes into neutral, palms down, knees come into the chest one at a time, grabbing on underneath onto our hamstrings. We can rock side to side, or kicking the feet overhead, drawing the navel in, front to back. Whatever feels good on our spine. Looking for a little bit of release. We're going to work our way up. So if we're rocking side to side, we can roll over to our side. If you're rocking front to back, you can tuck your chin tight to your chest and then pull yourself all the way up to seated. We're going to turn ourselves over onto all fours. Take a big child's pose, extending the hips back, reaching the arms long. Hands walk to the left side of the room, pushing out to the right rib cage. We'll switch it, go to the other side, big exhale. We'll take it center. Coming up into all fours, we're going to take our right leg around the front, find a hip flexor stretch. So that's leaning those hips in forward, finding the hip flexor, lifting the chest, deep breath. We'll slide it back, toes up. A little bit of hamstring as we fold the chest forward. We'll gently release, and then take that right leg around to the side and behind, switching, left leg comes forward, finding that same hip flexor stretch. We'll shift it back to find the hamstring, toes up, chest forward, lengthen, straighten that leg as best you can. We'll shift it forward, releasing, curl those back toes underneath, scooch the knee underneath the body, take it into a wide squat, turning that heel in, hands on the thighs, slow, tuck around and roll all the way up. We'll find our footing, take a nice big shoulder roll, deep breath. We'll take one more. Arms reach wide overhead, big inhale, big lift. Hands on the hips, hips back, just like we started. We're gonna take a tuck round and roll up to the top. Taking your time, getting rid of any tension that's left in the spine, finishing with a big shoulder roll. Hope you have a great day.